Remember the Hegelian political model? You know, that principle employed by people in power to control their populations and get them to go along with agendas that they normally would not. Remember the formula? First, you create a problem. The very nature of this problem causes the people that you're trying to control to react, usually crying out for help with this problem that you created in the first place. And once they cry out for help, the very people who created the problem provides a solution. And that solution being that thing that the people would not normally go along with. Do you want to see how effective this principle is? Pay close attention. What if someone came on national television and said, "We're about to re-enslave many of you black people," and the real kicker is, you're not even going to resist? You would probably say, that is impossible. There is no way that we would ever go for such foolishness. Or would we? You still paying attention? Listen up. According to a white journalist named Gary Webb, the CIA is responsible for bringing crack cocaine to the black community in America. It all started in the 80s during the Iran-Contra affair.
I've been an investigative journalist for about 25 years for daily newspapers. And in 1996, I wrote a series of stories entitled Dark Alliance, which was about CIA involvement in drug trafficking. What my story showed was that the cocaine that was being sold in those neighborhoods was coming from mainly one source, and this one source was being used to finance a guerrilla war in Central America. The general idea of the CIA dealing drugs was something that the American mainstream press had never written about before, and that's why it prompted outrage by the CIA, by every federal agency involved in the drug war, because it showed they weren't doing their job. There was a fraud.
But you can look this up for yourself. Gary Webb, Dark Alliance. Please look it up. But anyway, crack devastated the black community, creating a problem. Now, the very nature of this problem caused the people to react. In reacting by crying out for help with this problem in which the CIA or the government created in the first place. And once the people reacted, the very people who created the problem in the first place provided a solution. And what was that? They created more prisons. They privatized the prisons. They manipulated the drug law so they targeted the inner city. You know, black people. They hired more police. They placed the police in the inner city. And what was the result? An explosion in the prison population of black people, where today we have over 1.2 million black men in prison alone. Now, that's not counting the number of black women in prison and the number of black children locked up in juvenile facilities all over the country. Now, what does that have to do with the re-enslavement of black people? Let's go to the 13th Amendment. Now, according to the 13th Amendment, slavery was abolished for all people unless they were convicted of a crime. And in the prison system today, we have hundreds of corporations that get their labor from the prisons industry. But to be fair, the prisoners do get paid about 11 cents an hour. Sounds a lot like slavery to me. Hey, this is Liberated TV. Please free your mind.